Well, welcome everyone to the first episode of the JP Show podcast. My name is JP. Some of you know me as John or John Pierre. Um, so, yeah, that's my full name, John Pierre. And welcome to the show. Welcome to the first episode. Forgive any technical difficulties, any audio if it sounds bad, my bad. It's just the first episode. I'm gonna get used to this. But yeah. So pretty much my show, it's about my passion. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a screenwriter. I'm a former actor. Who knows? Still might be acting. I don't know yet. But yeah, my show is pretty much me and sometimes guests just talking about films and television, and we'll just connect them to the topic. The topic, um, you know, connects to life, and just how could the movie or TV show we're discussing relate to the topic of life of the episode. Uh, yeah. So today's first episode, we're going to be talking about a classic. All of my 90s babies know about it. All of the 2000 babies know about it. Yeah. I don't know if the 2010s babies know or give a shit, but, you know. Yeah, this is The Matrix. We're going to be talking about The Matrix. Classic movie. Changed cinema forever. Changed cinema forever. Let's not even forget that. That movie changed movie making forever. Like, we got what we got today because of a small little sci-fi philosophical thriller that came out in 1999. And it's 2022. Look where we are today. God damn. So yeah, the reason why I wanted to discuss The Matrix is not only what like obviously what it's done, but like how it's impacted me. Definitely one of the coolest movies ever made. I'll never forget that. I remember the day I saw it. I don't remember the dates, but I remember the day. I remember I was with my mom, and it was a Wednesday or Thursday night. Yeah, I think it was a Wednesday night, and she took me to the movies. I was like, this is strange. It's a school night. Why are we? What are we doing right now? And she was just like, no, we're going to the movies. And I just remember being confused. And I was just like, okay, but happy, like, yay, like, okay, Wednesday night, we going to the movies. And I remember at first I wasn't like so into it because I'm just like, first of all, I'm a kid. This is 99, so I'm 8, right? I'm 8 years old, right? This has nothing to do with anything I watch on Saturday mornings, any of my toys in my bedroom. Like, nothing. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is this? So I just remember at the start of the movie, my mom was just like, immediately. I don't know if she saw the movie before me, but I just know immediately she was just glued to the screen. And then I'm just like, Mom, what are we doing? She's like, shh, shut up. Like, she was like aggressive. She was like, you're not gonna fuck this up, and you're gonna enjoy this. And like, that was the energy she gave me. And yeah, the movie started. I'm just like, this is whatever. I'm just like, oh, it's a chick. She's at a computer in a dark room. Don't care. Cops are in the building. All right, like what is it? Like, what is this? She got on this leather. I'm just like, this ain't Catwoman from Batman. What is this? And it began though. The fighting and the shooting started, and the moment she did that move, the camera froze and went 180 degrees. Whatever it did, hooked. I have no clue what I saw, but I knew I loved it. I was just like, I have no idea what I just saw, but I loved it. And now you have my attention, and I'm going to shut the fuck up, and I'm not going to complain. I'm not even going to have no attitude. I'm not going to be some, like, I was just like, whoa, what is this? And, yeah, the rest is history. Yeah, I was just like, yo, I'm Neo. I know I'm black. Or me. Where mom, I would like a leather coat for Halloween because Neo. Like, what are we doing? And I believe I was Neo or Morpheus. I don't remember, but I knew I was somebody from the Matrix at Halloween. Yeah. So pretty much just we've all. I mean, if you haven't seen it, you don't. I don't know what you're doing. You need to like stop what you're doing, go the fuck home, go watch The Matrix, the first one from 1999. I've met people in this era who have not seen it. I've met people in this era, the 2020s, that have not seen it. That's fine, but they need to. Yes, you need to. But yeah. So pretty much the movie. Let's just I'll go through it again. Our hero, our main character is Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, and he is a hacker, and he lives a double life. And the supporting cast is Trinity, and we have Morpheus, and yeah, she pretty much, Neo. After this, like the beginning part, is like the introduction of the world, right? So she's like, moving super fast, running up walls, um, jumping from roof to roof. The cops can't do it, but then Mr. Smith, the villain, um, him and the other agents, they running after her too. So they jumping on roofs, they flying through the air, they walking on walls, dodging bullets. Yes, they dodge bullets, but you already know that because it's the Matrix. And yeah, after that scene, it cuts to Neo. He wakes up, and oh, before I get to that, there's how that scene ends is she runs to a payphone. Okay, so all the Gen Zers and the people born after like 2000, a payphone are phones because not everyone had a cell phone. Whoa, 20, 30 years ago, not everyone had a phone. Payphones were phones that were in the middle of the streets in major cities and towns, pretty much anywhere you go in the world. Um, you They were landlines. I don't even need to get into the whole phone thing. Just know you put in a quarter, you stand in this booth where there was a phone, and you were able to make phone calls. That is it. No apps, no music, just phone calls. Who knew cell phones were for calling people? So, yeah, but yeah, and there are cell phones in this movie, but we'll get to that. So the reason why I bring up the phone is because the payphone and the landline, which is a phone connected to the ground to a line, an actual wire, it's important because that is how we also got on and off the internet. For those who haven't seen the movie, I'll explain later. So after that, but at the end of that scene, she answers the phone, and then the dude runs a truck into the payphone, and there's no body after he pulls the truck out. So, and they're explaining, she was like, oh, she escaped, and da 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 da. And first time watchers in 1999, they're just like, what? Where'd she go? Wait, cut to, we get to our hero, Neo. Introduction to our hero, main character, Neo, Keanu Reeves. He wakes up, and his computer is writing to him as if someone's hacked his computer. And they're telling him the Matrix is real, follow the white. Like, he's confused, but he was just like, he's also intrigued. He's just like, yo, what is, like, it's kind of like he already has like this weird like thing going on. We're just like, yo, who is this person on my computer? But why do you know my thoughts, right? Like why do you know my interests? And then there's a they type knock knock, and then boom, there's a knock at the door. Creepy. These people that come to the door are like probably like I don't remember, but I know like they were just like, not low lives, but like they're in the underground, right? Like he obviously lives a double life, so he has like I guess a virus or something that this guy is buying it off of Neo, and he's got his crew with him, so he's like again underground, got his crew, got his woman next to him. They look like goth metalheads, like punk. Um, there's a lot of steampunk influence in this movie too, but like I would say like a mix between steampunk and goth. I would say that's how they looked. And one of the last things that the Trinity, who was the hacker on his computer, go watch the movie, said to him was follow the White Rabbit. White Rabbit, who, and then Homeboy, who he's buying the computer thumbnail drive with the virus on it. He was like, yo, man, we're going out. You want to come with? And he's like, nah, I got work in the morning. Trying to be responsible, even though he lives a double life and he's like somewhat of a criminal too. He's like, nah, I got work in the morning. And then he was like, yo, man, you're like wired, man. Like, you're just like, you're working too hard. It's just like, you got to chill. And he's just like, yeah. And then he sees the tattoo of a white rabbit on his girlfriend, on the guy's girlfriend. Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go. That's what he says. That's what he says. I promise you, that's what he says. And again, now there's another connection. One of my favorite stories as a kid. One of my favorite children's stories. It's not really a children's story, but as a kid, the Disney version, obviously, but like Alice in Wonderland. One of my favorite stories. Definitely, just like as a grown up, like I love that story. Definitely super trippy, and this movie takes a lot of like references and is definitely inspired by Alice in Wonderland. Follow the White Rabbit, yeah. You know why? Because we about to go down this rabbit hole. Okay, what we call rabbit holes and all these things today. 1999. Okay, we about to go down this rabbit hole called the Matrix. Gets to the club and it's just heavy metal. It's Rob Zombie playing. He's on the soundtrack, but Rob Zombie he's got his music going. It's loud. His homie, well not his homie, but the guy he's doing business with. He's in VIP. He got the chairs, girl with him. It's drinks. They having a good time. Metal, heavy metal playing. Definitely steampunk metal white people good time. Who's not having a good time? Neo. But he said, fuck it. I'm going to follow the White Rabbit. I'm here. I'm not having a good time. I'm going to lean against this wall. Who's leaning on the other side of the wall? Trinity comes out of the shadows or comes up behind him. I don't remember. But Trinity shows up and she was like, guess who I am? And he's like, you're the Trinity? I thought you were a guy. And she was like, patriarchy. Most men do. Yeah, I'm pretty incredible. I was a hacker. I was into all of that too. And yeah, I'm a woman. And he was just like, yo, what is the Matrix? And she was like, look, whispers in his ear. I can't see, you know what I mean? Like, it's, you feel it. You know what it is. And she's just, no. He doesn't say what is the Matrix. He doesn't say that. He does say it, but not in the scene. She was just like, look, I know you feel it. You just feel out of place. You just feel something's wrong. You feel like something's not adding up. Like I get up, I go to work, I come home, I go to my second job. I'm a hacker, one of the world's best. That's another thing they mentioned. He's like one of the best hackers in the world. And I live this double life. You know what I mean? But I'm a regular dude. Like I'm just this computer geek, and it is what it is. But she's like, Neo, I know you feel it, my nigga. But she don't say that. But she was just like, I know you know something wrong. Something is whack. Something is wrong. Something is absolutely wrong with everything that's around you. And she's like validating his feelings. She bounces and cut to, he's late for work. Go figure. Yo ass went out. And then, one of the best hackers in the world is getting shit from his boss. Not even his, like a oh my god, just one of these, just like not even corner office, but have like the like window view. They don't have a view. They have their own office, so they got the window, and they feel important, and just like this dude like is just it's just little dick energy. We all have that boss where it's just like they gotta exert their power, and I'm just like and Neil's gotta play this role. He's like, yeah, you're right. I will not be late. I understand the importance of being on time and all this other shit. And it's just like, in the back of Neil's mind, he don't give a shit. But in the front of his mind, he don't give a shit. In the back of his mind, motherfucker, I am Neil. I will destroy this entire company. Like, what are you doing? Like, who are you talking to? But you a criminal. That's your main money comes from the shit you do afterward. You gotta make appearances. You can't have nobody. You know what I mean? I'm a regular guy working a regular computer job at a regular ass computer company. Okay, things get interesting now. He goes back to his cubicle, and before he even gets to work, he gets a package in the mail. Opens the package. There's a cell phone inside. The cell phone rings. It's Morpheus, played by the great Lawrence Fishburne. So Morpheus is on the phone, but he knows who it is. He was like, Neo, do you know who I am? He's like, Morpheus. It's like, again, he's already like, he already is like in a place of like, yo, shit is out of whack, but I know, like I've heard this before. I know this. Like it's like it's innate to him, right? And Morpheus is like, look, you in trouble. You need to leave now, and I could guide you out of here, or you could look up. He looks up from the cubicle, like if you ever worked in an office, there's a cubicle, there's like a little wall, and you could like peek out from it, at the top of it, and he was just like, or you could go in the custody of the authorities. Who the authorities? Smith and the other two agents. Yeah. So he's like, nah, F that, I'm out. So he's listening to Morpheus. Morpheus is like guiding him through the office. He's like, yo, duck down, run to the other cubicle, hide behind this person, run to this office, it's empty. And then once Neo's in the office, he's like, yo, open the window, there's a scaffolding on the side of the building. How does a man on the phone know all of this? So he's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? Go outside? Like, bro, I am in a skyscraper, dog. And he's like, yo, again, there's only two ways out the building. Either you listen to me, you just get to the scaffolding that will take you to the roof and we can get you, or you can leave with the authorities. Neo, criminal, hacker, he ain't about that. So, he's like, yo, all right, I'm gonna give this a shot. He opens the window, goes outside, goes on the ledge. He's like trying to make his way around. Obviously, you're looking down. Obviously, you're concerned about your own mortal being, and like just like, yo, I'm not trying to fall, dog. Like I could fall and die, and then all of this is over. He's doing his best. He's just like, yo, I'm trying to get to the scaffolding, and he reaches like a divide in like where he had the ledge and the other side of the ledge, and he's trying to get around that, and gust of wind knocks him off balance. The phone falls, and he's like, nah, I'll leave with them. It's cool. I'll take my chances with them. There's a quick little scene. Neo he's in cuffs. He's going into the back of the either the police car or the Jeep, I don't remember. But it's in the reflection of a mirror, like a side mirror, and it's a motorcycle mirror, and it's Trinity on the motorcycle. She's like, crap. Because also Smith turns, he was like, yo, is that are you somebody I was like chasing in the beginning of this movie? And she was like, oh man, so the motorcycle goes away. Then it's CCTV. Like, yo, the way they even crafted this film, like the Wachowski sisters, formerly known as the Wachowski brothers, Um, yeah, the way they just like crafted this film is just like incredible. So it's CCTVs. It's a bunch of them. It's a bunch of CCTVs. The camera zooms in. We go through the screen, and now we're in the interrogation room. That's what the CCTV was. It was CCTV of Neo in the interrogation room. Camera zooms in. We're in the interrogation room. Now, he's, interrogation room, hands in cuffs. Smiths walks in, like, regular federal agent. Mr. Anderson, that's his name. Thomas Anderson. That's his alias. They know everything. Mr. Anderson, you live a double life. You take out your landlord's garbage. And you're also Neo, the hacker, and this and the third. And, they just know. Mr. Smith is just letting him know, like, I know who you are, Neo. Like, we don't gotta. And Neo's still on some, like, nah, I'm not speaking till I get I'm gonna give you the finger. And you're gonna give me my phone call. And he's like, how are you gonna do that if you can't speak? His mouth closes. No, he don't got a mouth no more. Like his mouth like fused, like, and he's freaking out. And it's like he has like, it's just skin. There's no mouth. They grab him, throw him on the table, rip his shirt open. Then he takes something out of his pocket of his jacket, and the thing, like, it starts to melt, like, and it just comes to life, and it's this weird, like, robotic scorpion bug thing. Like the wires are its tentacles. Like, it's just weird, but it's disgusting. They put it on his stomach. Shirt's open. Put it on his stomach. Goes inside of his stomach, and then he wakes up like it's a bad dream. Gets a phone, like he's back in his apartment. It's raining, it's pouring. Phone call, Morpheus, yo, meet me downstairs, blah, blah, blah. He's like, all right. Goes downstairs. And I'm going to get through the summary a lot quicker. But I'm just like, again, you can just see how much I love the movie. And goes downstairs. He gets into a car. Some chick with like platinum blonde hair points a gun at him. He's like, what is this? Like, what is going on? Like, I thought we were like damn near allies. Like, I thought, you know what I mean? And she was just like, look, you asking all these questions. I don't know you. I don't trust you. You putting me, you in danger, bro. We in danger too. And he's like, all right, whatever. They have some weird, I won't get into the other characters because I want to get through the summary, but like there's other people in the car. You got the dude driving. You got the two chicks in the back. Trinity's in the back. Trinity grabs this like weird contraption thing, and she was just like, yo, I think he's been bugged. And he was like, bugs. And they rip open his shirt, and they hold him down. Trinity takes the contraption, puts it on his stomach, sucks out the bug that they put in him earlier, so it was not a dream. And he's freaking out. What the hell? That thing's real? And then they throw it out the window, and it turns back into the device. Like, it just turns back into, like, the thing that came out of, like, a regular thing that came out of his pocket. They get to some abandoned building. It's thunder and lightning. It's Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus. Now, this is an important scene because this scene is relevant till today. And it's relevant to the topic that we're talking about today. After this scene, let me get to about this scene, because after the scene, I'm gonna make things short and sweet. But after this scene is like where I needed to get to. This scene, him and Neo and Morpheus are sitting down. Morpheus is looking like a boss, shades on with no. They're like shade lenses with the nose part, the bridge. And like there's nothing. They just snap on the bridge of his nose and they just stay there. I've never seen these shades anywhere else. I'd like a pair, or like to see a pair. But he's just a boss. Like he's in a leather coat, tie. He's a boss, right? And He's explaining. He was just like, yo, he's like pretty much breaking down everyday life, like everything that we've ever gone through, birthdays, celebrations, church, and he was just like, yo, this feeling that you've been feeling your entire life is valid. Things feeling out of place your entire life is valid, bro. And he was just telling him like, yo, what do you think it is? And he was like, is it the Matrix? And he was like, yes, it is the Matrix. And he's like, yo, I can't really tell you, but I can show you. And then now let me tell you, this line literally is like in society today. It is in every facet of culture and society and just where we are in life today. So he's like, okay, you want to see the Matrix? He's like, okay, I'm going to give you two options. Take the blue pill. He goes back and going back into the Alice in Wonderland reference. You go home, you wake up, and you go back to the life that you had, and everything will be as what you consider to be normal. It will just be that. The blue pill. You take the red pill, and we get to see how far down the rabbit hole goes. The red pill. See, it wasn't just some made up internet shit. It came from a place. Yes. Came from a place. Pre-social media. That was for the kids. And he's like, yo, I'll take the... Neo just reaches for the red pill. He's like, just know there's no going back. Neo makes his choice. Takes the pill. Then he's like, all right, we don't got much time. Let's go. Excuse me. So, Neo takes the red pill. They get him and he was like, all right, we don't got much time. They take him into another room. It's like weird computer setup. And they tell him to sit down, tell him to relax. And he was just like, the pill I gave you, it switches off certain electrical signals and inhibitors in your brain. Yeah, this movie's super intelligent. They use like really big, intricate words, and it's just like, it's very smart, very intelligent, but also very cool and very easy to understand. And things in the room start to like, Neo starts to feel weird. It's like he's high. And he's like looking at the mirror, and the mirror, it was like a cracked mirror, and then the cracks began to form, and there was no longer a cracked mirror. He was like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? And he's like, puts his finger in the mirror. The mirror is like this jelly, weird, liquid mirror material. I just want you to know this is all CGI in 1999. I mean, it's not the CGI we have now, but for 1999, that shit was fire, and it still looks good today. We don't even gotta get into all of that, but just know, like, just limited with the technology of their time, what they were able to do. Again, this movie changed movie making forever. It's honestly like bigger than anything that's won an award or anything. But let me not get off track. Yeah, so he pretty much, the mirror becomes a part of him, and he's like, yo, what is this mirror? Like, why am I becoming the mirror? All this other stuff, yo. All this other stuff. He's like, goes into his mouth, and he's like, camera goes into his mouth with him, and he wakes up in this, like, underwater tub thing, and he's bald, and he's pale, and he's got wires connected to him. He's like, what? Like, he's just like, it's like, honestly, it was like seeing an adult being born. Like, just scared, confused, no clue what's going on. And this machine chokes him. The wires pop out of him. Then he gets flushed out of the tub, the bathtub that's in the middle of that's like on top of a tower in the middle of some crazy place, and he can see that there's other humans in these towers, like, in these bathtubs in the tower. But he gets flushed out. Then he gets picked up by this thing. Excuse me, hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. Had to get some water. But yeah, now I'm going to make it. I've been talking for too long about the beginning, but I really wanted to introduce the film. Now we're in Act 2, right? I just wanted to get out of Act 1, and now we're in Act 2. Neo is basically now out of the Matrix. He's like in the real world. And the real world is some post-apocalyptic society. Morpheus kind of breaks it down to him. Humans made machines. We invented artificial intelligence. Again, this is why I wanted to get into the beginning. So now that we're here, humans made machines. We made artificial intelligence, and the artificial intelligence figured out the pieces of shit that we are, and it was a war between humans and machines. We know that the machines needed solar power to run, so we thought it was a good idea to, as they said in the film, scorch the sky. So now there's no sun in the sky; it's just darkness all the time around the planet in the midst of the war. And so the machines were just like, well, if we can't have the sun, what else can we use to remain alive? Like, we gotta get electricity and power from somewhere. Morpheus breaks it down how we are basically a battery for the machines, and to make sure that they harvest us, because we are no longer born, we are grown. Another line from the movie. And humans are now basically mindless sources of power for the machine race to go on. And how they do that is keeping our minds occupied with the Matrix. So now we're in Act 2. Neo is now understanding, okay, I'm in the real world. This sucks. This is shitty. I'm on some spaceship thingy. It's called a hovercraft. But yeah, it's just now it's dark, it's dreary, clothes are raggedy, food is oatmeal or not tasty, but they said it's tasty. But it's just this weird sloppy oatmeal cream of wheat thing that's food, and he's in the real world, but this is something that he was craving in the Matrix. He knew he didn't belong there. So Morpheus is basically training him and preparing him, because Morpheus's whole purpose is to find the One. So the One is the hero that is going to set human beings free, and by fighting the machines and all this other stuff, and the only way to do that is through their system called the Matrix. So Morpheus is training Neo to access his true power, his true potential with his mind. Now that his mind is free, it's no longer the Matrix. But when we go into the Matrix, we can do whatever we want. It's a computer. So he's trying to remove all of the limitations that he was conditioned to in the Matrix, right? That's his job. He's the mentor, right? Neo's the student. So they doing kung fu and karate, and other than the physical stuff, Morpheus takes him to see the Oracle. The Oracle is just all-knowing, kind of it's her name, the Oracle. He's just all-knowing, can definitely help with the spiritual growth, right? Morpheus is helping with the knowledge and understanding and the physical part, but the spirit, you got to go to the Oracle. And the Oracle, they say the Oracle is not a real person. The Oracle is just this program in the Matrix. But even Morpheus respect, it's almost religion to him. He was just look, I can't be present. You know what I mean? This is your journey. Your conversation with the Oracle is your conversation with the Oracle. And, pretty much it's about belief, right? Believing. Really, really believing. Right? No ego, no none of that. Just straight up belief that I can do this. I can do, you know what I mean? I could be the one. Neo still has doubt. That's what that whole scene and that whole conversation between him and the Oracle is just like, yeah, kid, you ain't got it, man. I don't think you're the one. You got doubt in you. You got doubt in you. The one don't got no doubt. You're the one. You're supposed to just believe and know that you're the one, and that's it. That. And Neo's like, I ain't the one. And you're like, well, you ain't the one then. That's the whole scene. Like, he's like feeling bad, and she's like, don't feel bad, nigga. Have a cookie. I'm serious. That's what she don't say that, but she basically was just like, yeah, like, okay, you feel like shit, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Have a cookie. In the midst of all that, the agents, who are basically programs by the machines, who are just meant to track down rogues, who are Morpheus, Neo, Trinity, the whole crew of them. And they've managed to find him, track him, and they're like on the run. He's like, yo, we got to get out of here, blah, blah, blah. And in the midst of all that, Morpheus sacrificed himself to make sure Neo got out of the Matrix safe. And Neo tried to go toe to toe with Smith. He can't. He got his ass whooped. And Neo, how the agents and all these people were able to find them is because Cypher, who's one of the crew members. He's a character, but his character is one of the crew of Morpheus, and he betrayed him. He was just like, the Matrix sucks. I mean, the Matrix awesome. The real world sucks. Why? And, he and Neo had a conversation like, yo, why did I take the blue pill? I mean, the red pill. When the blue pill was much better. Like, his life is so much better in here. So he betrays his team. He betrays Neo, Morpheus. He betrays them because the machines want access to Zion. The access, whatever. I don't know what it was. But Zion is the last human city. Like, that's the last of human society is in the city called Zion. Smith, who was a program for the machines, was just like, yo, I need the codes for Zion. He was like, yo, I could get you Morpheus, Long story short, Cypher betrays the team, ends up killing Matadum, one of the people on the ship who he thought he killed when he got out, killed him, and the only ones left is Trinity, Neo, the guy on the ship, and Morpheus, who's still in the Matrix. So even in his doubt, even in I'm not the one, I gotta get Morpheus. I know, I love Morpheus. Like, what he did for me and got me out of the Matrix and showed me the truth. Like, I'm going to go get him. And she was just like, the dude was like, I don't know if that's going to work. This is basically a federal building. Like, how the hell are you going to go in there and go get him? Right? And he was like, I don't know, but I'm going to try. And Trinity joins them. We don't got to get into the dialogue there, but Trinity basically joins them. And one of the coolest scenes in cinema history changed movie making forever. They get into the lobby. Neo, Trinity, they strapped up. They got Uzis. They got Tech 9s. They got 9s. They got Destiny. Bro, his whole entire coat is just filled with guns. It's a computer. They can do whatever they want. So, in this lobby, in this scene, the entire scene is in slow motion. But they running up walls. They doing cartwheels. And they killing all these SWAT officers. They took out an entire squad of SWAT officers. Like, just special ops, security. Like, all these dudes are dead. Like, mind you, it's 2 of them and 20 of them. And everybody strapped up. And you know how it ends? After all the slow motion and cool fighting and the music and all of that? Oh, mind you, shades never fell off, neither one of them, by the way. They had shades on. Never fell off. You know what I mean? Cool. Too cool of a movie. Scene ends. They go into the elevator. That's it. They fucked up this lobby. They go into the elevator. Then they go to the roof. They blow up the elevator shaft so no one else can get to them. They go up to the roof. Oh, even in that explosion, that was cool. The explosion was in slow motion as well. Again, CGI in 1999. Still looking fire today. Still looking good. I'm telling you. They go up to the roof and have a little shootout on the roof to get to the helicopter so they can take the helicopter down to the level where Neo and the agents are. And they could, because the goal isn't to kill the agents. The goal is to get Morpheus and get him out. So, in this rooftop bit, one of the agents get to the roof and he could dodge. Remember, I said the agents could dodge bullets. Neo is dodging bullets, and again, we've seen it before. He does the thing. He's back. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, the coat looks cool. Everything is fire, bro. He still got grazed, but then Trinity puts one in his head, you know what I'm saying? And then that's it. They get the helicopter. They get the minigun, shooting them down, you know what I mean? Take out the whole level. They don't hit Morpheus. Morpheus, just strong black man, never broke, never folded. We don't break, we don't fold. Breaks the fucking handcuffs. And he runs towards the thing, and he gets shot in the leg because one of the Smith agents, because they're able to travel through different bodies and shit. He's shooting at the wall, right? Hits Morpheus. Doesn't matter. Morpheus falls out the window. Neo jumps, catches him. Trinity's in the helicopter thing. Fly, trying to get him out of here. The helicopter's crashing, by the way, because Smith shot the helicopter, so it was on its way down. So they're trying to find a place to, like, put the helicopter, lands Neo and Morpheus, and put the helicopter. Ended up doing that. Helicopter crashes into a building. Neo makes sure that Trinity is safe because, he has feelings. They got feelings for each other. Yeah, there's mad sexual tension between them all. But that was like the thing where Morpheus saw, like, oh, he's the one. Like, my man is the one. Neo still don't believe it. Everybody around him now knows he's the one except Neo. Like, that happens. It be like that. It do be like that. Now that they rescued Morpheus gets out of the Matrix. Trinity gets out of the Matrix. You know who doesn't make it out the Matrix? Neo. You know why? Because Smith done found it. Smith destroys the phone because the phone is the exit out of the Matrix because you needed a phone to get onto any sort of network back in 1999. So Trinity and Morpheus make it out. Smith destroys the phone. Neo doesn't make it out. Now Neo, who was born a few days ago, like born into the real world a few days ago, has to fight Smith, who's literally like a security guard for the machines in the Matrix. He's able to travel through bodies. He's got superhuman. Like, dude is literally Superman without flying. Neo got to fight him. They fighting in the subway. They getting it on. Whatever. In the fight, Neo beats Smith. Doesn't work because Smith is a program. He's not a human being. You can't just beat him and kill him because if you die in the Matrix, you die in real life. You can't just do that to Smith. He's not a real person. He's a machine or a program, whatever. So he's on the run. He's like, well, F that. I just like got my ass whooped some ass, and I got to do this shit all over again. I'm out. Where's the phone at? Get me to the phone. So he's on the cell phone talking to that's what they call the operator. Guys on the ship who can talk to you from the real world into the Matrix. He's like, yo, get me out of here. He's on the run. He makes it to this apartment building, and I think it's abandoned. But Smith and the agents are there. Boom, shot him. Boom, 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 shot him. Neo done got hit, shot, dead. He's dying. Ends up dying. Trinity says something in his ear like, look, I love you. I'm supposed to love the one. I love you, and I need you to get up because you're the one. And what happened? Because the power of love, okay? The power of love. woke his ass up, got him back to life. And Neo's like, I'm the one. What does he do? He stands up. It's the agent shoot at him. My man stops the bullets. Midair. Stops the bullets. You know why? Because he believes he can. That's it. That's the power of the one. It's like belief and knowing. Stops the bullets. Smith is like, oh, hell no! I know this dude don't think he can. Smith runs up to him, tries to fight him, and Neo's like, oh, this is like super slow. He's like, and he going at it. He's like, oh, are you like, matter of fact, how is this so slow? Oh, I could do this with one arm. Boom, 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 boom. What happens? Smith gets his ass knocked down the hallway. The other agents see that, and they're like, fuck this. They out. Like, they left him. They left Smith. And this is where things get weird. But it ties into the sequels, which we will not talk about. We won't be talking about those. Neo jumps into Smith. Jumps into him. And like, basically destroys Smith. Like, Smith explodes. And it's Neo's new body. It's Neo's new body. There's no bullet holes in it. Like, he's good. And pretty much the movie ends. And he's like, yo, I know what you're doing. I know what you're watching. I know what you know what I mean. And it hangs up on his phone call. Rage Against the Machine plays. It's 99. Rage Against the Machine plays. And he's in the middle of the Matrix. He's like in the middle of like Midtown, New York, just like in the middle. And it's just people in the center. And he's looking around like, this is a playground. This is my playground. And I got to get these people free. And it ends. The last shot is they zoom out. Neo looks up to the sky. He does a smirk, shades on, smirks, looks up, and the camera zooms out from like the top of the city, and then you hear like a big bang, like a loud bang, and then it's Neo flying. Boom, cut to credits. Neo was flying. So that's the Matrix, y'all. That's a long ass summary of the Matrix, but I don't care. Now let's get into the topic of today, and the topics on this podcast will always be in the form of a question. Today's topic is, are we in the Matrix? That is today's topic. Are we in the Matrix? Now, what I'm discussing has been discussed many times on the internet, many times in conversations, just many, many, many times. And some people really, really do believe that we're in a simulation. That is an actual scientific theory that lots of scientists believe. Like, yo, like, this is a simulation. We're in the simulation of something of a higher intelligence. Not artificial intelligence, but something higher. Maybe artificial intelligence. Who knows? But that's not a hot take for me. Like, that's not. I honestly don't know. I don't know if I'd be shocked. I would, you know what I mean, or sad. I don't know what my react. Like if tomorrow I woke up in the same situation as Neo, where I'm just like, yo, why am I in this bathtub in the middle of some tower and there's more people in bathtubs? And it's just like, you just don't, again, like, I just don't know. Who knows? Or maybe it's not me that's supposed to be unlocked. Maybe I'm supposed to just live and die in this simulation, if it were one. But the reason why I bring that up as, like, a topic is because of just, like, the reason why I was so, like, heavy on, like, explaining the beginning is because, like, I be feeling like that. Like, I be feeling like like, look at what's going on today in society. Screw okay, politics, technology, just society and social things, and just like the world, and it's just like things are fucked up. Things don't make sense. Things are fucked up, but things don't make sense, right? And I've been feeling like this for a minute now, for many years. Like, you know what I mean? Where like I could say like from my time in college, and I was really learning about my history as a black person, because I was, as black people in the United States, we were lied to our entire lives. Especially if you're my age or older, we were lied to straight up. Everything we were taught in school, the education, but we don't got to get into that. But then in college, and I'm taking certain courses and all these things, and I'm like, yo, like, this is not, like, this whole movie, and like just the philosophy of like, yo, are we in a simulation? Because just as a black person, from the things you're taught and conditioned, the same way everyone in the Matrix is taught and conditioned, and just basically like, yo, this is reality, bro. Like, how long was it before you realized, yo, I'm black, so my reality is very different from other people's reality. It is not one thing. And I'm not talking about like just life journeys and life. I'm talking about just like reality, like the external. My experience is vastly different from someone else's experience who's not black. You get what I mean? Like, and it's just like, literally can look at the same thing and get two different answers. Like, it could be me as a black person and then a white person, and we could look at like something, and it would be two different things to us. Doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense, yo. Like it's the reason why I've really brought up this topic, where it's just like, yo, are we in the Matrix? Because it's like, things are out of whack. You know what I mean? Like, look. All right, let's get into it. This is not a political podcast, but let's just, for example, I'm gonna use the political climate as an example. Now, I don't bang with either party in this country, but I've been conditioned to believe that the Democratic Party is the party for black people all my life. And then I became an adult, and I would realize, oh, without taking any pills, oh, I've been lied to. And what's crazy to me is, like, even in the conversation, I really don't have political conversations outside, like, just outside when I'm outside and dealing with people, because it's just like, you have your, like, I've never really spoken to anyone on the extreme right or the extreme left, but all I know is, just as a human being and someone who has common sense, which is like, that's not even a word I hear anymore. That's one. Two, I know I still have it, so I'm in the minority. And just logic, where it's just like, yo, we all on this planet in the middle of space, spinning, trying to make the best of the time we have here. And like, it's literally people that's like, yo, if you're not a Republican, you're not an American, and the Republican way is the way to freedom in a fruitful, like, just having like the best life ever. And then you have people who are like, yo, how could you follow like a party that's like this and like that? And when there's like, then there's the left, and there's the Democratic Party, where it's just like, no, this is about inclusion and everybody. And making sure, this is the best way to live. And I'm just like, and it's like, this literally has like the country going at it right now. And I'm like, I could have sworn we all wanted the same things. I could have sworn that. I could have sworn we all wanted a decent job that could support us, right? Because we are under this another made up thing called capitalism. If you hear the AC in the background, excuse the AC, just switched on. But I live in Las Vegas. It's hot. No, I'm not switching off the AC unless it's absolutely an audio issue. If it's not, deal with it. But yeah, it's just like I cannot believe adults, grown adults, my age, older, younger is like okay, but even younger. But like, what surprises me is older. Like you older, you're supposed to like be knowledgeable and I can, but clearly that's not fucking true. But it's just like we're at a place politically where we cannot where you can't have the two extremes have a conversation. And there's been a time, even in the heat of war, two extremes could sit down in the same room to come to some sort of common ground. Not saying that you gotta like this person, not saying you gotta bend to this person's will, but it's like common ground means we want these things, the both of us. Let's make what's the best course of action to make that happen. My God. The way things are in this country, it's like, well, everybody wants to be able to have a good job, a roof over their head, be able to send their kids to school, make sure they get a good education, and so they could go on to live a better life, hopefully a better life than what you have, if not a comfortable life. That is not even an option for most people anymore. And they're literally saying it's the other side. And it's these types of people who are doing it. When it's actually not that. But again, let's tie it back to what the movie's about. The Matrix. Technology. And how it's fucking with our minds. It's fucking with us, bro. Literally, yo, I'm in this weird generation, in a weird space, in a weird time, where I remember the world before social media, and I remember the world before this huge technological boom, and it's fucking not scary. I'm no longer, it was scary to me. It's just at a point where it's just like, damn. It's kind of like, I can't even find the word, but it's just like, it's really strange to witness. I'm gonna have stories when I'm old, if you know what I mean. If I make it there, like I don't know what's gonna happen with society. I don't even know, but like to literally see here, there isn't pretty much anywhere. And here's the thing: I can say I'm a part of the problem too. I'm a part of it. I feed into it, where it's like I literally hear everyone repeat the same thing. Maybe not word for word, but literally the conditioning of ideas, ideals, it's just kind of sick, where it's just like, yo, what happened to individual thought? What happened to critical thinking? Because everybody's saying the same things, just in different ways. So it's just regurgitated. And it's just like, and it's just like, what's crazy is like, I feel like when I was in my late teens, early 20s, and questions were being asked, and the world was being fucked up in different ways, from the, you know, the war in the Middle East, and you know, things going on in the financial market, and then we had the big recession in 2007, 2008, and you know, I'm becoming older, and I'm asking questions and questions. Then all of a sudden, it was just like noise injected into society, because we are now that we're more connected than ever, right? Millennials, we are the ones who are responsible. We are the generation responsible for social media, right? Mark Zuckerberg's is a millennial. Tom from MySpace, I took it back. He's a millennial. Figuring out ways to think it. And here's the thing: it's one of those things where I knew those computer guys and them nerds. They were like, "Yo, we want to connect because if we connect and there's a flow of information, and that's a thing with computer people and hackers, just like information should be free flowing and free, and everyone should have access to it, and things shouldn't be in the way of that." And the belief of connecting the planet through technology, through the computer, before the cell phone, through the computer, that would change that. Now we could have Discord and conversation and all these things. That didn't work. That didn't happen. And it was just an injection of noise. And it really showed, like, it really shows who we are and how primitive we are. And I feel like since I think technology is definitely, it's not going to surpass us. It has surpassed us because our phones think for us. We go onto YouTube, we have an algorithm, we have a fucking math equation that directs us to the shit that we know we're going to consume or they're going to force us to consume. And we're going to regurgitate that. So then you got a new rise of hate groups. You got a new rise of all types of it's just divided. Not even in this country, across the planet, where it's just like the best way. And this is like a war tactic. This is a philosophical war tactic. This is like dark psychology. This is like on a global scale. If you keep a population distracted and consuming, that is the best time to control them. Everyone's at each other's necks. This is the most sensitive, soft ass, mean ass time in humanity, bro. How, like, it's so confusing. It's that's why I'm like, yo, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a simulation and there's a fucking glitch, because this shit don't make sense at all, or it's making perfect sense. And that's the thing. When there is a flow of information, right? Like I said in the beginning, there was questions being asked and people getting access to information, and all of a sudden the information, like the topic of what is important in the information, has changed, where it's just like it's about politics and religion and gender and sexuality and, you know, systems, capitalism and socialism. Like, it's a bunch of just things that just like, yo, like, this is not like what the human experience is supposed to be, not in my opinion. um and it's just one of those things where I'm just like, damn, can a little, not a little movie, but like a movie that was like came out in '99, like, say what you want, like, I think it was warning us, man. And it's just like, this is not new. Like, this is not, this whole concept of like thinking that technology is a problem. It's not new. Terminator, fucking, just like, what was it? Terminator. There was another one where had nothing to do with technology, but it had to do with, like, you know, the Illuminati and powers and like a small group of people running the world. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, things don't make sense no more, man. Things don't make sense no more. And it's not a weird question to ask if this is real. It's not. It's not. You know, and I again, I'm a part of it, right? I have technology. This is all technology. I'm giving my opinion on shit. Who cares, right? But I also believe that there are a group of people who are just like, yo, this is not what the human, like, there's no way this is the human experience. No way. Like, no way this is what life is about. Like, truly. Again, going back to, like, what is truth? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? Like, we still don't know why we're here. That's still the humanity's biggest question. Why are we here anyway? But in the meantime, we're going to make the best of it. We don't know, but we're going to make the best of it. But this ain't the best of it. Granted, I know I'm born in a time that isn't as brutal as past times. And, you know, I'm lucky to be in a space where, like, I could have cool things like these gadgets and these technologies. But also, like, what if these things thought for me? This is the last thing of, like, that can, like, that hasn't been, like, I believe this is more powerful than a computer. We made the computer. It has to be more powerful than a computer. So it's like one of those things where it's just like, is this a battle? Like, are we, like, we made something that realizes, like, okay, this primitive thing could switch me off. It switch me off. Now, you know, but I still need it. I still need it. I'm not there yet. I'm not in the space where I don't need it yet. So what do? I need to get in here. This is the thing that runs it. This is the thing that controls our body. This is the thing that makes up our person. This is where our personality, the information of who we are, is held in here. So it's like, but it's just like, damn near people are being manufactured at this point. They're being manufactured. You go on any social media website, go on any social media app, website, go on YouTube, go down the rabbit holes. The rabbit holes, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's not a crazy. I mean, it's not crazy. But it's not a crazy question to ask. Like, yo, that movie that came out in '99, like, it's becoming more like not a movie. It's becoming like, yo, are we in this motherfucker? But yeah, man, yeah. We're gonna wrap up the podcast now. But I just want to say, like, you're gonna be hearing a lot of like questions like this from me. Like, I'm a filmmaker. I love telling stories. I don't just make films. I also, like, I'm gonna be expressing myself as an artist through different mediums, and you'll be seeing me talk about those on here. But yeah, I'm also a philosophical person because I'm also a spiritual person, so I ask questions, and it's one of those things where it's just like, yeah, pretty much just gonna hear me ask questions on here. You're just gonna hear me ask questions on here, and just get into topics and about life and just getting into these philosophical topics because it's just like it's interesting, but it's also, I believe in those questions and those conversations. They allow not only the mind but the spirit to grow. And I believe that just as much as you have to grow as an individual externally, right? Personality, growing, dealing with your emotions, taking care of your body. Those are all important, but also the soul, the spirit. Like, you gotta, like, I think connecting to that and getting that to connect to the earth, getting that to connect to the universe, because we all come from that. If this is not simulation, yeah, I think that's the most important thing. I think that's what it is, and I believe that's what it is. But that pretty much wraps up the first episode of the JP Show, podcast. And I call it the JP Show, by the way, because this is gonna grow over time. There's gonna be a better setup. There's gonna be just better everything, and I'm hoping it to get to a show level. But it's it's my podcast and it's my show, so I'm gonna call it that. But yeah, that's the end of this episode. We talked about the Matrix. We asked the question if we are in the Matrix. I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if we are in this motherfucker, because shit don't make sense. But anyways, y'all have a good week, and you'll be hearing my, look out for episode 2, and you'll be hearing that come out probably Friday. So I'll discuss the schedule and all these things about like when I'm gonna be putting out episodes and stuff like that next episode. But yeah, end of episode 1, JP Show podcast, and enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Bye.